Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 389. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero. Yo. And Brett Murdoch.
What's up, people?
All right, man, you already know, back with another one. This week was interesting because some stuff happened. We're still getting spillover from fake E3. So we got a couple of things to talk about.
The key three, as we call it.
Key 3.
as a Jeff Keighley, key 3.
Yo, can you hear me?
Hey, there he is. What's
go.
going on, man? Yo.
Yeah, Mike. I guess something Discord messed up in my settings, but all good.
Yeah, man. Okay, so no Chris action. He is down for the count. Adam said he'll show up later. He's doing something or other. And
I was going down the boonies, man. You remember Caleb?
Yeah, I was playing George. He hit me up after 7 years, one of the plague years.
You mean my cousin Caleb?
Yeah, and Brian, I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe they have a bank holiday over there or something. Who knows?
Maybe they're celebrating the Queen's Jubilee.
Still?
Again.
She's got another one? Like, damn.
75 years, 75-day celebration.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess when you're the queen, you can do whatever the hell you want, you know?
Yes,
yeah.
all of you shall have another day off because I felt like it. Yeah.
Yes, my subjects. Wait, why am I doing this like she's the Pope? You know.
What is she, Mother Teresa? I don't know. Blessing everybody.
Yeah, it's like she's not Mother Teresa or a saint. She just,
She is the Queen Mother.
Yeah, she is. But completely random. I was thinking about this earlier today. Just random Warzone story, right? You remember Okay, before I get to it, you guys know about Seacrest crackers, right?
I do not.
Anyway, there's a brand of crackers called Seacrest, right? I didn't know this until Torrance told me. So anyway, he was talking about how one day, this was years ago, he was at an industry party and stuff, and he heard some people talking, and he comes over, and they're like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah, Ryan Seacrest," and Torrance goes, "The cracker."
Oh yeah, I remember this story.
I just imagine the cracker. Because Torrance had no idea, because he didn't know who Brian Seacrest is, but you know about the cracker. So he's like, the cracker.
Torrance is like you could be in a room full of white people and just say that out loud without even thinking about it.
Yeah, we got stories from E3 of Torrance doing some wild shit, man. Torrance, man. All right, so
how he doing? Where is he, man? Is he hiding in the woods? Something's going on with this dude.
Well, remember he deleted his Twitter account.
I know. That's why I'm like, where is he?
But he is. I'm gonna blow his spot right now. He's back with his alternate account.
Oh,
because
he's Torrance After Dark now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it does it have a smile on it?
Yes, it does. Purple and white. So yep. M's everywhere, Scorpio. Remember that when that was the thing? All the Xbox were fucking using the M sign and shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, man. Nah, I won't get into it, but
yeah,
some of these people, man, putting their loyalties on their on their Twitter tags.
I'll be honest, man. I miss the days when when the Xbox were the ones that hate me because the ponies are worse than they are, way worse than they are. Like for example, earlier this week, the Naughty Dog released a clip from Last of Us Remake of Tess, and she looks fucking terrible. She literally looks like she's like 20 years older, right? Everybody was praising it. I wanted to say something, but I was like, nah, I don't want to get under these guys' skins, because you already know they would start making more videos about me, So I think in generally what I'm going to do, like, I'm just going to talk, like, I'm still going to post gaming stuff on Twitter, but like the stuff that I know is going to get a reaction, I'll save that shit for the show, or my editorials or whatever, but yes, that Tess, I was like, yo, what are you doing? This looks terrible. And there's people trying to say like, oh, but the actress is old. It's like, yeah, but she's still gorgeous. She's like 40 something, but she looks good. They didn't make her look anything like the actress, she looks like Joel's grandmother or something, you know.
Interesting.
So yeah, so that type of stuff. I was like, I almost posted something. I was like, nah, the ponies. I don't want them on my ass. With the Xbox, I didn't care because they got mad, but they weren't on that level, you know, of viciousness. You know, it's interesting. And obviously, you already know about Nintendo. I don't say anything about Nintendo. So those guys are even worse. They're the worst of the worst, the Nintendo fans, as Chris can attest. You know.
Well, and also, you know, you're getting
as I can attest too. You know, motherfuckers cost me money, but we're not going to talk about that. You know. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, there's two things going on. Number one, Sony fans are at their most insecure they've ever been.
Yeah, they're very, very insecure now. Yeah.
Number two is a lot of them thought you were quote unquote on their side.
Mm-hmm. So maybe to them, I'm betraying them. Like
they feel betrayed.
Yeah, but I'm like, my thoughts haven't changed on anything. You know, like here's something.
You are the betrayer.
Yeah. Well, remember, you know, I mean, fanboys always act the same. Remember when Cliffy B was doing that PlayStation exclusive? You betrayed us, and now Kojima's getting it. You betrayed us. You know, fucking stupid. But yeah, like I've always said, I'm like, the only reason I was dogging on Xbox so much last generation is because they were fucking up a lot. Whoever fucks up, I'm coming at you. Sony's been fucking up, so I got to come at him. As simple as that. You know, I'm an equal opportunity hater, man. But you know, yeah, I think
you don't hate Sony.
Nah, I don't hate.
You're just like you don't hate Xbox.
I don't hate anything, you know. But I'm an equal opportunity.
You hate some things, but just not those two things.
No, not those two things. You know, they're cool. You know, I'm an equal opportunity critic. Let's just say that. You know, everybody gets it. But anyway, so yeah, let's talk about some of the stuff that happens this week. So this I didn't get to see at all because I was at work. You know, Final Fantasy VII. 25th anniversary celebration was going on. I knew about it, but again, I was working, so I didn't get to see it.
It was part of the whole summer game announcements and things like that.
So you guys are gonna have to run me through this. So they showed 3 games, right? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with Crisis.
All Final Fantasy VII related.
Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core.
That's the big one, the bigger one. But yes, the Crisis Core, it's, you know, the fans have been asking for it for a while because pretty much every single Final Fantasy thing got remade or put out again. So, you know, Crisis Core from PlayStation Portable has gotten a full-on release. And from what I can tell, it is the same game, just like Final Fantasy Zero.
Type Zero, yeah.
Type Zero that came out on PlayStation 4 a while ago. But it's essentially the same game. But it's got some nice, glow ups on it. Like they switched out all the characters, you know, to look a little bit more like the remake game. You know, a lot of the environments improved, textures and all that sort of stuff is. But one thing, you know, like it's actually to the point where you can literally take a PSP shot and take the shot from the new thing from the new trailers, and you can literally line them up side by side. In fact, if you go to my Twitter, I showed a couple of examples of things that were just reused. So it looks like it's the same motion, same camera angles, and it looks like they're swapping out all the voices from that have been recast for Remake.
Yeah.
So Zack's voice is whatever it was from Remake. Cloud's voice is whatever it was from Remake. Same thing with Sephiroth and Tifa. But it seems like all the Crisis Core unique characters like Type G and all the characters that are specific to that game, those are all seem to be all the original voiceovers.
Yeah. I don't have any input. That's cool. I never played Crisis Core.
I mean, it's an action RPG. It's got
that's a little bit of a problem, though. You know.
What do you mean? Well, how is that a little bit of a problem? You're literally Final Fantasy VII is literally now an action RPG. It's the same shit.
Yeah, that is also true. You know, but you know how I feel about action RPGs in general. You know, like I prefer the turn-based stuff, but I obviously have to play action RPGs because that's all you get now. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy VII currently is an action RPG.
It is. You know, as much as I kind of chagrin that, but yeah, this so it is.
If anybody who's been into as far as the last 10 years of Final Fantasy games, or more than that, they've all been action RPGs.
Here's my question to you though: Again, because I have no knowledge of this game because it came out 10 years ago. You said right, something like that, or maybe more.
And the
Something
PSP,
like
yeah.
it was a PSP game.
So does it play more like Kingdom Hearts? Is it kind of like that?
It plays like Type 0 and the current Final Fantasy.
It's a turn-based game, but it has a like a, what is it called, a fucking slot machine fucking functionality and stuff like that to get like different prizes and stuff.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah,
skill sets. So it's not necessarily an action RPG like there are today. It's a little bit more involved. For me, this game, like I remember playing it when it came out, and I liked it better than 7.
oh shit,
I
interesting.
I just like the story better.
It wasn't because of the graphics.
Oh,
Graphics are very nice for the time.
Yeah, the graphics on those cutscenes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They were great. But yeah, it looked decent for a PSP game. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game, and I'm glad it's getting remade, or I mean remastered. Some parts
it's pretty much
remade.
it's pretty much a remaster.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because I know people have been asking for this for a long time. You know,
I know Riku swore by this game.
Yeah. So you know what? So I'll finally get to play this game then. That's cool. You know,
It's yo man.
I'll
and you
play
get
it.
to see
Yeah.
why Sephiroth is the way he is.
Excuse me?
You get to see the person who gave what's his name, Zack, the sword,
Yeah.
the Buster Sword looking thing. It's great, man. It's I feel like it's a great prequel to. I feel like it's the best complementary story out of all the Final Fantasy VII kind of spin-off or sequel prequel kind of things.
Nice. I'll play it.
Yeah, you're gonna enjoy it, and,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be on everything. It's gonna be on PlayStation, Xbox,
And
Switch.
did I hear correctly? This year,
Yep.
It's this
crazy. So good stuff. Okay, so we got Crisis Core. Next up, we have Final Fantasy 16. Again, what did they show for this game? Like
They didn't show anything.
that's what it's. Okay, well, I'm looking at this thing here. Says 2023. That's coming out next year. Okay, so what else did they show? Okay, I know they showed Final Fantasy.
It was all the Final Fantasy VII thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
save.
don't
I'm
remember
trying.
that.
Yeah. Okay. So
The other thing that they showed was Final Fantasy. It was called Crisis or something like that, which is essentially a remake of the Final Fantasy VII and Crisis Core, but with those miniature characters from the original Final Fantasy VII. It's like a weird mobile game / thing, but it's essentially it's like a full on like it's pretty much what I would have liked if they did a remake of Final Fantasy. Where essentially they redid all the kind of chibi looking characters, and then when you get into battle mode, it turns into like Final Fantasy VII remake, like well rendered characters. No, this whole 25th anniversary thing, that's only Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
I don't remember any 16 stuff in there.
Yeah, I think that this guy I'm quoting, he was just saying that we're getting Final Fantasy a new one every single year. So maybe that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Okay.
Well, if you could call it new, because most of the Final Fantasy VII stuff is essentially I guess you could say the later one is, but yeah, the other thing that they had on here was that's what they started with. They started with Final Fantasy Crisis, or not Crisis Core, or whatever it's called.
The hell's the first soldier? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's it. The first soldier.
Let me look at this. Is it what the hell is this? It looks like a CG cutscene. What is this? Fortnite or something? Final Fantasy? The hell is
that's
this?
that is the multiplayer game. That's the other thing that they put in there.
Okay, so the multiplayer game. So what was the thing you were talking about? The chibi one.
It was for.
It has Crisis on the name.
Yeah, it's called Crisis.
It's called Ever Crisis.
Yeah, there we go. Ever Crisis is the one that looks like how I would have expected the remake of Final Fantasy VII to look like.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at this multiplayer game. No, I'm good. I don't need to play this.
Yeah, the multiplayer section was a little bit. I sort of tuned out on that.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier. For iOS, oh yeah, forget it. For iOS and Android, forget about it. I'm not playing that shit.
Both of those things are for
mobile, right?
Mobile.
Yeah, fuck that.
I would hope that they make that other one for everything, because I don't want to play that version more than the other current one. But anyway.
Yeah, and then the big one here, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
I noticed that I have a feeling they're gonna go with a bunch of re's. It's like
Yeah.
remake, rebirth. So what's the last one gonna be? 'Cause
Rebuild.
rebuild.
Because I've
what
always
they
called
did-
these things the rebuild of Evangelion, Final Fantasies, you know.
Yeah, because what they
Renew.
because during this, yeah, maybe renew. Because what they did at the end of this presentation is that they showed off the two other, they showed off, remake, rebirth, and then they had a blacked out Final Fantasy at the bottom. So I mean, they didn't show much. It's supposed to be coming out next winter.
No, 2024. It says here. Is that correct?
That's what they said.
I thought it was winter 2023.
Yeah, it's winter 2023.
Please,
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It didn't say 2024; it just says winter.
Well, no, Tony, it's coming out. It's announced for winter 2023, so that means it's going to come out winter 2024.
That is true.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's cool. And then the other thing that we learned, because remember, we were always asking how many parts is this going to be. Seems like it's going to be 3. Good. Because remember, we were joking like it's going to be 7 parts or something. So, hey, wait a minute, 3 parts, 3 discs like the original?
Yeah, 3 parts,
you
3
know?
discs. Yeah. I wonder if all the Meteor stuff is going to be on that last disc.
Yeah.
Disc 2 is going to be, like, it's up to where they shoot the ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
That's where it ended the last time. And then the rest of it is whatever was left.
Yeah, I honestly think this game is like, you have to consider like Rebirth of Evangelion. They're just going on a completely different trajectory now. You know?
That's what they're sort of suggesting, right? That somehow something's going on where essentially some of the characters are knowledgeable that there was an alternate world of the original Final Fantasy VII. So does this mean that a lot of different things are going to happen, or people who are going to die that didn't die before?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I guess that's the allure
that's the
of
question.
Of what this game is supposed to be. I mean, I really enjoyed the first one because I wasn't expecting as much on this game because I was like, oh, we're just retreading the same old tropes and all the scenes, and nope. When things changed, and I'm like, oh, interesting, and I got exponentially more excited about the sequel.
I agree. Yeah, when I saw that ending, and Carlos, I'm pretty sure you're the same way. I was like, okay, I'm ready for this sequel now. Like,
yes,
I want to know where this is going. By the way, this smells like Nomura. Weird, crazy timeline shit going on. But I'm with it, man.
I guess it's a way of essentially having your cake and eating it, right?
Yeah.
You have your you still have the original Final Fantasy VII, but you got this other one. Essentially, like.
One thing I find interesting about this game, apparently, remember, this is the sequel to Final Fantasy Remake, but they said you could jump in and start playing this without playing the previous game.
I mean,
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm guessing it'll probably give you an update or something like that.
Yeah, I think so too.
This one said Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is being designed so that people can enjoy this game whether they know the original game or not. In fact, new players might even enjoy starting their Final Fantasy VII journey with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
That's a hell of a way to not sell your first game.
Shit. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the other announcement, Final Fantasy Remake, coming to Steam, Bennett. Which is pretty dope. And Steam Deck, is it verified? Let's go.
Oh yeah. No. Retro. I know Retrograde is verified.
Yeah, because then because unless somebody photoshopped, I thought I saw Nomura with a Steam Deck with Final Fantasy on it.
No, that was what it is.
Okay, so that's got to be verified then,
Yeah, no, that was from that showing that Final Fantasy in Steam it's going. So
yeah.
Well, it's already on Steam. Remake is already on there.
I think it's on Steam Deck. I think that was the announcement, right?
Yeah, they're probably the idea is that they're probably doing some nice adjustments to it so it looks nice on
probably a Steam Deck version, yeah. Because that is a graphical mode available in some games, the Steam Deck, which just optimizes it so it actually runs well on the Steam Deck. Yeah. Fucking cool.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
You can continue your game from, your Steam copy all the way over to the thing. That game hasn't come out on Xbox, has it, yet?
I'm not sure. I don't think it has.
I don't remember.
So Crisis Core is coming out for Xbox, but not Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if one of you guys in the chat wants to let us know, but I don't believe that game Remake is on Xbox.
Well, the new one definitely hasn't been announced for Xbox, so
Yeah.
we know that. And it's going to be a next gen only, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it
It
is.
didn't say 4 or anything like that on the end.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we already had a bunch.
final-
Yeah, CK. We already had a bunch of guesses. Remind, revisit, rewind. Like you can go everywhere with this shit. You know.
Yep.
Reimagine.
How's it going?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Final Fantasy fans will be eating well the next couple of years. You know. All right, so we'll move on here. The next big showcase that happened, Capcom. It's funny because this happened on Tuesday. I felt like it happened like 50 years ago.
Yep.
This one was a big Resident Evil thing. I didn't get to see this one either. I was working again, but it seemed like there's some like a new DLC with Rose, isn't that Ethan's daughter?
Yes, it's Resident Evil. It's Resident Evil Village, but it has an additional part with Rose. The funky, interesting thing about it is that it's third person. In fact, Resident Evil Village is getting a full third person mode.
Yeah, which is
now.
very interesting.
And that Rose thing is not even, it's not even, first person. It's all third person, which is interesting.
I'm reading this off IGN. So apparently, Lady Dimitrescu is going to be in Resident Evil Village Mercenaries.
Yes,
you know the boys are going to love that.
Yeah, you get to play Dimitrescu and all the X-Men from Resident Evil 7, Village.
Yeah. Okay, so let's run down this. So they showed another Resident Evil 4 remake trailer, okay? Appears to confirm a major new addition. What would that be? The ability for Leon to move while aiming his gun.
Yes.
Okay. That's funny.
He couldn't do that in the original.
Yeah. But again, see, that's actually one of the things I'm worried about because if he can move and shoot, that means you have to make the enemies move faster to compensate because enemies moved, for that type of play style, that could fundamentally change things. That's one of the worries I have,
To be honest though, like dude, like if it probably plays exactly like Resident Evil 2 did. And you can move and shoot in that.
No, I'm talking about like with Resident Evil 4, you're gonna have to just change some of the enemies. You know what I'm saying? Like even in Resident Evil 2, the enemies moved a little faster because you could move.
Yeah. So I mean, it would probably again. I wouldn't say it was too. It would be too. I mean, it'll definitely be a slightly different experience. But
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's gonna tweak it.
It would be like the same sort of idea as something like the previous, like essentially what happened in 4 and 2. Where they sort of move a little bit. There's one caveat I have about this. It's being made by the same guys who made Resident Evil 3 remake.
Hope they don't cut any content out.
Yeah, where they cut content out, and the game seems a lot smaller. Hopefully, they didn't They didn't start cutting corners on this thing.
Yeah, hopefully they learned from 3's mistakes. And did it right. So we'll see. So we got that. Resident Evil Village Winter's expansion includes Shadow of Rose story DLC. Okay.
Yep.
I don't really have too much comment on that. That's just interesting. It's coming out October 28th. Okay.
Yeah, it's just more story. The idea is that she's at least from what the trailer suggests, she's not going back to the mansion or anything. That she does connect with the Mega Mind Seed, so she's almost having like a battle in her head or something like that. So the castle's gonna do all kinds of weird stuff. There's gonna be some villains in there. You're probably run into Ethan and all kinds of other funky stuff.
Yeah, and like we said, Lady D, you could play as her now.
Yes, in the Mercenaries mode,
which is interesting. Resident Evil Village is in the third person mode. We already mentioned that.
Yes, that's it.
This one's cool. Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake, and Resident Evil 7 will get next-gen upgrades, free next-gen upgrades. They're available now. Available now.
And they're going to look all nice and sexy on the new consoles.
Which is pretty cool. Resident Evil Reverse. Who gives a shit about that? Wait, it's coming out? I thought it came out already. I'm confused.
Resident Reverse.
Yeah, Reverse. Yeah, like didn't that already come out? Or am I thinking
Well,
about another?
it got announced, but I don't remember it coming
I
out.
remember seeing it at Comic Con. I must be thinking about another Resident Evil thing. The one that's like a rip off of Friday the 13th. I'm thinking about that.
Oh, okay. No, I mean,
Somebody in the chat, please let me know. Tell me what fucking game I'm talking about. You know, I know I'm not crazy. I saw it at Comic Con. We reviewed it for Geek.com. You know, and I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" You know. All right, so we got that. Oh, here's more stuff. This is not Resident Evil related. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak expansion. Okay, I don't really care.
yep.
Wake me up when Monster Hunter World 2 comes
You
out.
know,
Yeah, it's that it's gonna be the same deal as last time. It's an upgrade to the DLC for Monster Hunter, for the Switch, but it's also gonna be the PC version
one.
too.
Yeah. All right.
Which they conveniently showed in the trailers. They were not showing the
Oh, you already know
the Switch version.
Yeah. X Primal gets a gameplay show. What the fuck is X Primal?
X Primal is that one where the dinosaurs are all falling out of the sky.
Interesting. Oh yeah, I remember that. That's right.
They sort of go into detail what the whole deal is with it. It's some sort of rogue AI that's essentially causing all this craziness to happen.
Yeah. PV. Oh, it's whatchamacallit. What do you call those kind of games?
PvE.
Asymmetrical multiplayer game. So it's basically PvP versus E. All right. Oh, whatever. I don't care. Street Fighter 6 will get at least one more announcement this year. So I guess the game is not coming out this year then. Okay. And then remember, this is the Capcom event that happened on Tuesday. Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary event teased, and obviously we know the answer to that now. So that leads to it's a segue. And I wish Brian was here for this, because he is. This is one of his favorite games.
I know Brett used to like that game too.
Brett, did you ever play Dragon's Dogma?
Yeah, it was not bad.
Yeah. The sequel's coming, Dragon Dogma 2, after 10 years.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really.
To make sure to mention Dragon's Dogma every month.
Yeah. Yeah, if Brian was here, I'd just give this segment over to him. I the only experience I had with Dragon's Dogma was the demo they had, and I thought it was terrible. So,
Yeah.
But the thing is, remember, I thought the demo for Dead Space was terrible, and I loved that game. So the demo's not really representative of the final game.
Was it well received generally?
Yeah, people love Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma got a lot of things. I mean, to be honest, I always felt that it was a little bit generic, but
yeah, it looked, yeah. At least graphically, for sure. Not graphically, style wise, medieval stuff. But I know people like it a lot. So again, I don't really have anything to say. There you go, Dragon's Dogma 2 is coming, people.
they're like, "Yay!"
Maybe a certain somebody should ask Brian a question about this for the Sunday show.
Maybe that Rami Death guy.
Yeah, maybe that Rami Death.
Drop him a line there.
You should. Like, Mr. Brian, what did you think of Dragon's Dogma 2?
With an accent. Like
yes,
that.
with an accent. He changed his accent because of Twitter fanboys are coming after him.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So moving on here. Bethesda's upcoming plans. Excuse me?
They planning?
Yeah. What's going on with Bethesda?
Are they going to lift off?
Plans.
Yeah. Okay. So Starfield. Everything we learned in IGN's Todd Howard interview. Okay. So they interviewed Todd Howard. IGN did. So here's a couple bits. So Todd Howard confirms Fallout 5 is coming after Elder Scrolls 6.
Well, that's sort of a given.
Yeah.
Right? They're not developing two games at once.
Brett, you're Mr. Bethesda, so what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's about what I figured.
Let's see. I'm just gonna read what he says. Yes, Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production. And
Damn.
yeah. And we're going to be doing Fallout 5 after that, so our slate's pretty full going forward for a while. We have some other projects that we look at from time to time as well. Interesting.
Yeah,
Other projects.
This Fallout 5. I mean, I don't understand why they say this, because this ain't gonna come out for another 10 years.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know. It's sometimes I think again they do these things to get people all amped and excited. But yeah, it's not coming. They're in pre-production. That just means a bunch of guys are drawing some shit.
Yeah.
A lot of artwork, some ideas.
Yeah. That's what's going on right now.
Starfield includes more handcrafted content than any Bethesda game alongside its procedural galaxy. Interesting.
See, remember we said like how are they gonna have 1,000 planets?
So it's both.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, procedural for some people sounds like a bad thing, but a lot of games use procedural elements to create to create things. Horizon Zero Dawn uses it to an extent too, where they essentially give the game give the thing a bunch of parameters of as to what they wanted to do, and then they sort of adjust it. Same thing with Senua's Sacrifice; they used that to generate environments too. So it's not foreign to do something. So I'm guessing it's like they set up the parameters, they develop whatever the planet is, they do a little bit of arting here and there, and then a lot of it is mostly just empty space.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a difference though in implementation. Like in Horizon Zero Dawn, when I go to the same spot over and over, it will always look the same. It will never be different.
Yes.
Like the way you're talking about it is like they program
they're,
some stuff and then the game automatically generates it based on those parameters.
The idea is that they're essentially using procedural elements to essentially give them a start, sort of like having somebody do breakdowns for a comic book, right? They're doing all that other stuff. They're making sure they get everything, and then you're coming in, and then and drawing all the main characters and all that stuff. And I feel like that's what this situation is. Like they're using a procedural element to fully develop the planet. Like, okay, this is Ice Planet. Yeah. What are the parameters for Ice Planet? Okay, then now they go in and they're like, oh, hey, let's put a settlement here. This looks like there should be a clearing over there, and just sort of give you those things to mess with.
Yeah, but again, I just want you to understand why people are against it because procedure generated kind of means like you're going into like randomly generated dungeons that are never the same twice, and it's always reusing the same shit, so they feel the same. That's the problem with why people think that way.
No Man's Sky had procedurally generated planets, but once the planet has been established, that planet stays exactly the same. So initially it was a procedurally generated planet, but once it's been generated, it locks. It's not like those roguelikes where essentially you're going into
and that's why people don't like. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead.
They didn't place every rock and tree, but like by that kind of definition, like the world is kind of procedurally generated anyway.
Yeah. So I'm just talking about like when you leave a place and come back, it's gonna be completely different. That's what most people think of.
No, it's not.
I'm just telling you guys that's what people think of.
It's to help them basically fill in the space between things, so they don't have to put in every single fucking tree.
Yeah.
And that actually that helps because there's this thing in art where if you try and be too random, you end up being orderly. And so like having them placed by hand would honestly give you less kind of like diverse spread of options than having it procedurally generated. So being like, I'm going to generate this mountain and I'm going to comb over and edit and change it, to fit what I need. But you got to start with something.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, the world in general, the world we live in, like our planet, all that stuff is randomized, right? For whatever elements, in the environment. But then we came in and then started like, hey, you know what? Let's knock down this whole tree, put a hole in that mountain and make a tunnel. We essentially adapted what was there. So, but they obviously have a lot more control. Be like, all right, we don't like the aesthetics of that mountain. Let's move it.
Yeah. So let me just read what it says here. Amid a huge amount of new information on Starfield from the Xbox Bethesda Showcase, likely the most discussed detail was Todd Howard's announcement that the upcoming sci-fi RPG would include 1,000 fully explorable planets. Howard told us more about the game's approach to procedural generation, what it offers, and assures us that players can ignore them in favor of a huge amount of fully handcrafted content if they want to. Okay. So I guess the main planets will be handcrafted, and then the other random planets will just be like whatever,
It'll be like Mako planets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So okay, that's good to know. Also good to know you can skip them.
That kind of fits in the narrative. You'll have like, because when there's that many worlds, not all of them are going to be densely packed and highly built up kind of thing. Like some of them are just going to be like almost damn near frontier worlds with a couple outposts. So
barren planets. That makes sense.
Did I read something correctly the other day? It was just from a tweet, but it said that there's only going to be only three cities.
Oh, I don't know about that. Don't quote us on that. I don't know.
I don't think I doubt that very much.
Yeah. I did. I don't know if this thing talks about it, but I did read that because remember the big No Man's Sky comparisons. You can't take off and lift off from planet to planet. You can't do that in this
Yeah,
game.
it loads like a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
It loads you like where you when you go down, into certain houses and stuff like that. So it still does that. It's a little disappointing.
four.
Some people.
It's
Yeah.
4 cities.
4 cities. Interesting.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. I think this talks about it. One of those cities is like the biggest city they've ever made, apparently. So you're not going to be losing too much.
How
Yeah,
many
so that-
cities are in a Fallout game?
It just depends on what you constitute as a city, because there's small towns and stuff like that. But to clarify, the statement is from Todd Howard. He said 4 large cities. So
Okay.
so if
Yeah,
if they're
okay.
huge
That doesn't take into
metropolises-
account like smaller.
Yeah, he doesn't
settlements.
count settlements.
yeah, settlements and towns and dinosaur highs.
Next thing it says here, Starfield's main quest is about 20% bigger than previous Bethesda games, around 30 to 40 hours long. So this is just the main game,
Okay.
which makes sense because the other games, if you really think about it, they're about 11 hours or so. If you just stick to the critical path.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I just want to mention something you talked about earlier with the flight stuff.
Yeah.
I was kind of bummed out, and that's all on me
Yeah.
because my fantasy when it comes to space games is always flying to the planet. I'm like, all right, let me get on my ship, let me fly the F out, get out and fly on through space, go to a different planet, kind of that kind of stuff. But it makes sense why they're not doing it, but still a little bummed out.
Well, this ain't No Man's Sky,
It definitely isn't.
All right. Yes, Starfield will begin with a classic Bethesda step out moment. So there you go. You're gonna be in prison or something,
Of course.
Of course. Yep, makes sense. That's cool though. I imagine you step out, and you see like a vast cosmos or something, or maybe fly right into space. That'd be cool. But yeah, there it is, Carlos. Starfield has 4 main cities, and New Atlantis is the biggest city Bethesda's ever made. Oh boy. It has all the services you would expect, and you could work on your ship there. The factions touch that, but that's also the headquarters for Constellation, which is the faction that you joined. That is the last group of space explorers. Kind of this NASA meets Indiana Jones meets the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Interesting. Okay.
So they got X-Men powers.
X-Men, yes. They're in space. Starfield doesn't let you fly seamlessly from space to planet. That's really not that important. That's what Todd Howard says.
Well,
Interesting.
To him.
Honestly, it isn't. Even like No Man's Sky did it, and your whole thing is like it's cool the first couple times, and then it's a fancy loading screen.
Yeah, that feature alone was a selling point to me for No Man's Sky. But you're right. After like a million times, like was it 10 times? Like, you get used to it. It loses its novelty.
Yeah, but that's because you're going to the same fucking planet.
Yeah,
every
that is
single
also
time.
true. All right, and the last thing that's listed here is Starfield's space combat is quote unquote unique and inspired by FTL and Mech Warrior. Cool.
That's one of the things that I'm like super intrigued by because
Yeah.
I have no clue how the hell they're gonna pull that off.
Yeah.
Space combat, in a game that's like kind of Fallout. It's gonna be interesting, and
Yeah.
that's where I asked the question last show. I wonder if this is gonna have any sort of multiplayer, because space fights sometimes they hand themselves to that kind of stuff. But
Yeah,
Would
I
be
don't know.
interesting.
It's going to be interesting to know what they plan to do with it. Yeah.
that's another thing when I thought about you leave a planet, you're flying to space, you're about to you're flying to another planet and you get ambushed by the freaking Klingons or whatever they're
Yeah.
going to be called in this thing. But
The Kalandathu.
Dormammu.
All right, that's cool. All right, so that's all the Bethesda stuff. Interesting. Mostly Starfield, you already know. Okay, the next thing here, talking about ponies.
Uh-oh, what they do, Ray?
Okay, I think this statement that we're going to talk about next was done purely because of the ponies. So Kojima Productions came out to say that it still has good relationship with PlayStation. Why do you think they said that? Because they got a lot of hate. That's why. You know, you betrayed us. You know.
Yeah.
Here's one funny thing. So there was a petition to get this game removed and stuff. Apparently, the petition was done last year, but I'm like, people are still signing it, right? And apparently, the petition was done by like an Xbot. It doesn't matter if it was done by an Xbot. People are still signing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it shows you how, like Carlos, like you said, insecure the PlayStation community is. You know.
So it was. So was it because of the rumors before of them being of there being a potential Kojima production? Because this is not new information.
No.
There was rumors going back to them, but back then people were looking at statues in the background of people's. That's why I reposted that thing before.
Well, that's why I asked the question when we first heard about this. It's like they didn't mention anything about exclusivity. They're just talking about Kojima was just talking about partnering with them to use their cloud service.
Yeah.
So I always thought, well, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be exclusive. So my guess is that Kojima saw the news, or the team saw the news, and they're like, oh shit, we gotta put the fire out because we know that this game's going to come out for the PS5.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, don't worry, we got good relations with Sony.
Yeah, this is what Kojima Productions tweet out. After the announcement of our partnership with Microsoft using the cloud technology, many have asked us about our collaboration with Sony Interactive Entertainment. Please be assured that we continue to have a very good relationship with PlayStation as well. Yeah, like many people were asking us. You mean we got a lot of shit from Twitter assholes? You know, that's how I read that. Why are you betraying me? Why are you making games for other consoles? It's gotta be me. Why?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. That's it's so sad.
It's
because
stupid.
It's because they're so blinded by the rigmarole of all that silliness. It's like, I see this as a good thing especially for a company like Kojima Productions, where they're an independent company. If Microsoft came over to them and said, hey, Xbox came over to them and said, hey, we want you to make a game for us. That's good for fucking Kojima, because that means he can still make fucking games. People just see about this loyalty bullshit. No. It's just, it's disappointing, because it's like, it's not like it's like support. It's like it's like supporting the team as opposed to the players.
Yeah, no, but again, they just want they're greedy. They're like children with toys, like mine.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that thing. I was like, all right, that's good for Kojima. Let's see what comes out of this.
Exactly, but no, they don't see it that way. They see it as a betrayal. But again, you saw it on the other side too, when Cliffy B made a PlayStation exclusive. You traitor! Yeah.
How dare you?
Or if you go back even further, remember, it's kind of funny how it rolls, right? Like we had Nintendo fans very upset with SquareSoft for releasing Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation, right? Then you had the PlayStation guys mad when Final Fantasy 13 came to Xbox. It's the same thing,
Yeah.
The Xbox, the Final Fantasy 13 one was hilarious. They're like, Final Fantasy games have always been on PlayStation. How dare you do this?
They haven't.
Yeah, but that's what they said. Fucking idiots, man. Don't even know their own history. It's like, if you're gonna be angry, at least have your facts right.
No, it's you know how people are. They don't look back.
Yeah. Fucking hilarious. So yeah, Kojima Productions, they get no surprise there. But I think they even said it, where you partnering with them for a cloud. They didn't say anything about a game. So chill out. And even if it is a game, who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares?
Get Xbox Game Pass and play it.
If you're not sure about it, you just get Game Pass and play it on your PC. Because if you don't want to have an Xbox in your house or some silliness.
Yeah. No, J Shep, what happened? Did you see the Square Enix petition? Do I want to ask what this is about? Is it to keep Final Fantasy 16 off of Xbox?
No, off the PC. I bet it's that.
What was the petition? Please tell
or
us.
The Steam Deck. I bet that's that.
I wonder if there were any fanboys that got upset about that. Like, oh, it's coming to Steam Deck. Wah, Batman. Wah. All right, J-Shep, you can answer when you want, but fanboys, man, ruin everything. They ruin everything. Yeah. All right. The last segment of the night, people. And again, I wish Adam was here for this one.
COD?
No, games we've been playing. You know what he wants. You know what he wants to talk about. I mean, I'll talk about it, obviously. You know,
You've been playing what you've been playing, son.
Ninja Turtles. Let's go.
Yeah.
I played Shredder's Revenge. I actually played it and beat it last Friday, 2 hours. You know, me and my boy Jeffrey ran through it. The game is fucking awesome, man. Like, it is exactly what you want it to be. It's basically, I call it like the Ninja Turtles beat 'em up game that was never released. You know, like kind of like Sonic Mania is the Sonic 2D game that was never released. It is totally from the era. Like, even like the levels themselves, like, it's like pre-Giuliani New York City. You know, all fucked up, and they still got like the CRT TVs, VCRs, and all that. You know, it's fucking amazing. It is a blast, and I love you know, the fact you can play with 6 players. I didn't get to play with 6 myself. I topped
try that out this
we have
weekend
to.
or something.
Yeah, we have to. The music is awesome. They have Wu-Tang in there. Raekwon and Ghostface Killer. Very era appropriate, you know.
They essentially made an old Wu-Tang song.
Yeah, they made an old Wu-Tang song, and it fit because it's, you know, Turtles was from the 90s. You know, fucking great, man. The combos are good. I like how deep it gets too. Not as deep as like Streets of Rage 4, because Streets of Rage 4 is basically like a fighting game engine almost, you know. I will say I still like Streets of Rage 4 more than this one. But I do appreciate this one. It's a little bit more truer to the source material, if you know what I mean. Like, graphically, you know, like Streets of Rage 4, that you couldn't have got a game like looking like that just 20 years ago or 30 years ago. This one looks like it could have come out 30 years ago. You know, the only thing that lets you know it's new is because it's widescreen, you know.
Well, it's widescreen, and it's also got way more colors than a game that could have ever had at that point.
And of course the music, you know. Although you had CD quality music back in the day.
No, you had CD quality music. It's just like, in other words, like there was a limited sort of palette, but you see there's a lot of colors, in that game.
And I know they got some of the voices back from the original, right?
Yeah, I saw Cam Clark was on there and all the original Turtles. I don't think. I think only the original Turtles were there.
I think it's just the Turtles, yeah.
Whatever voices they did additional to what Turtles they played. So like Cam Clark, who played Leonardo, also played Bebop. I think Rocksteady. So they're playing their alternate characters as well.
Yeah.
And then I think the cast is filled out with a bunch of you know, not no names. I want to call them like, you know, just other casts, like the Shredder. Obviously, the Shredder isn't himself because
James
rest
Avery.
In peace. Yeah, James Avery passed away, and I think April, at least from what I heard, from what I hear, because I don't know the cast, it actually sounds like the April from the show that I worked on.
Oh, nice.
She also played Ash as well on the original Pokemon show.
Yo, J-Shep, don't send us stuff while you're driving. Be safe, bro. It's okay.
Yo, yeah, don't be doing that, man. Like, you know,
don't kill yourself listening to us. You know.
Well, you know, you can, you know, pull out to the side. You know, of a safe road, not a freeway or anything.
Yeah, but apparently, it's a petition of Boy Scout Square edicts. Why? Because they're making PC games. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first. Like, it's so weird. It's like it wouldn't be the first time they.
It wouldn't be. Yeah, but yeah, Turtles in Time. Shredder's Revenge. Highly recommended. Awesome. I reviewed it over at Tom's Guide. I gave it a 95 out of 100. It's fucking amazing. You know, like like again, if you love those old school beat 'em up games and obviously beat 'em up Ninja Turtles games, you're gonna love this. It's just great. You know. Again, I wish Adam was there because he's even more passionate about it than I am, you know. But
and it's on Game Pass.
The Game Pass.
He loves that even more because it's on Game Pass.
So, Manny, you pointed this out. They have different kinds of deals with different publishers.
Yeah. So yeah, like so for Xbox, it's day one Game Pass. For PlayStation, it's a 10%. If you're on PlayStation Plus, you get a 10% discount off of the game. So I bought the game earlier today. I'm like, oh look, 10%. So There you go. I don't know what the deal is on Switch though.
Yeah, I don't know.
If they
Okay.
have.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, the boycott is Xbox guys boycotting Square Enix after not getting Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
To be honest, like
Get a
they're making
PlayStation.
deals. Yeah,
Get
they're
a
making
PS4. Get a PS4. It's cheap. Get a PS4. You play the game. You know.
or to quote our friends at Blizzard, you got a PC,
You
right?
get a PC, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. You stream it. Yeah. Exactly.
You could play the superior version of that
Oh,
game,
Drew.
Yeah. Or if not, you
Oh.
just stream it. You know.
or depending on the porting process. Cause,
Okay. Blitz says, to make it, he says he got 10% off on Switch as well. Good
Oh, okay.
stuff.
So yeah, it seems like they went across the board and they did deals everywhere.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, and then as we learned right now, so there is cross play with the game between Xbox and PC, but no cross play with any other platforms. In other words, PlayStation, Nintendo, which is kind of
Yeah, PlayStation and Nintendo still don't want to play nice.
yeah. They're like, no, I ain't playing with him. I ain't playing with him. You know, that I'm telling you, that grudge is never going to go away. It's interesting.
Well, it's funny because like I noticed it's like I feel like Sony is like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. But then it's like Nintendo like, nah, we ain't playing.
Well, it's funny because Sony was originally like, yeah, we're not doing that crossplay shit. Remember?
Yeah.
They were like, it like for security reasons or whatever. They kind of begrudgingly had to do it.
Yeah, because they don't want to deal with all the stupid bad press that comes along with that.
Yeah, they had to. They had to cave in.
Their hand got forced because everybody's like, "You fuckers, you're anti-consumer."
Idiots. All right, so that's what I've been playing. Manny, have you been playing anything?
I have been playing the Guardians of the Galaxy. I
Nice.
finished the game, and I only have 4 more trophies to go in the game.
You get the platinum.
Shitty thing is that like a lot, it's very easy to glitch the fuck out of that game.
Oh,
Like I like the game a lot, but man, like it feels like it's on like on a rickety bridge. The game has never crashed on me, but I've had a shitload of soft locks on it. Like so the bigger trophy that I need to get in the game is the one where you literally collect every single item in every level. That I already got all the costumes, I got all the other things, but it's these other things that you sort of Quill sort of picks up and sort of rotates around, and then he puts it away, and then they eventually appear on the Milano, the ship that you're on, and then when you pick it up, you have a conversation with one of the characters, and those little conversations you have also they get reprisal conversations later on, and in later points in the game they actually go like, oh yeah, remember that thing that it's like, oh man, that was really shitty what happened to you on Animal World or whatever with Rocket Raccoon, stuff like that. But the shitty thing about it is it can be easily glitched. The way the game is designed is it's like a funnel, right? They want you to keep going back through the game and getting the things that you missed, as opposed to using the chapter select. In the chapter select, you can go back in certain levels, and pick up certain things that you missed, like costumes and those items I just talked about. But those things can get easily glitched with certain under certain factors. So I had one of those glitches.
oh shit.
So I made the mistake of picking up one of those items, and then when I got on the Milano in the chapter select, I went over and had the conversation with the item. This crazy thing is when I had it, for some reason, even though chapter select doesn't save, it saved that. So when I went into my main game, I didn't have the item in the menu that it's supposed to fill out, and I
Shit.
can pick up the item, but I couldn't have the conversation. So I've been going through this whole process of trying to see if I can salvage what I've done instead of having to replay the damn game again. So what I did was I deleted the profile. What do they call it? They have 4 different types of saves. 3 save slots and 1 profile slot. So I deleted the profile slot and then reinstated one from my cloud save, but it
Wow.
deleted. But it fixed all the items, but it was only locked down to what state I had gotten those things before. So it was like way earlier in the game. So I have to essentially I have all the characters all maxed out. I have all all these other things. The only thing is I have to recollect all these items and the costumes again. Even though I already got them. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. If if push comes to shove, I go through the whole thing, I get everything, and I fill out the which is filling out the whole compendium thing. If I get the trophy, then it's good. If it doesn't happen, then it means I just have to delete the save and then start a whole new game.
Damn.
See if I can do it. It's a commonly known glitch. I've been looking online. There's stuff from literally last year's people saying, "Oh my god, I can't get this shit to work. What the fuck happened?" And then I found their Reddit, the Guardians of the Galaxy bug Reddit, where you can literally report bugs, and it's just constant stuff on there. So we'll see.
That's crazy.
Why the fuck do I have these games that always have these weird game breaking glitches, glitched out trophies? The last time I had that was with Blackstad the game.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, Brett, have you been playing anything lately?
I'm playing some Sea of Thieves actually.
Oh, you got back into it?
Playing it right now.
Nice. Is there new content or something?
Yeah, there's they showcased a bunch of new content. Definitely a lot more since I last played. And, I don't know, man. It's a good game to just dick around. Do you guys ever get to that point where you're like, I kind of feel like fucking around in a video game, but I don't want to do anything important? And...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what side quests are for,
Yeah, that same kind of idea.
That's what Heroes of the Storm was for me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, same thing.
That's cool. All right. Yeah. So all that content they announced that the Xbox thing, that's already out.
No, there's still a bunch of content. I took a break for a while, and they release content regularly. So there's a ton of stuff I have not seen. Same goes for Grounded. I haven't seen the current stuff from Grounded, much less the finished games they're putting out.
Yeah, that one's finally getting a release, a full launch, I should say.
Yeah, it was probably not the smartest idea in hindsight to let people in that much on development, because then there's very little fanfare when it actually does release.
Yeah, you're right about it, because when it does come out in September, we were like, I've been playing this.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're like, oh, cool, a final update. But, yeah, I mean, how do I put it? I would have let everybody know this kind of thing right away. I might have released it as a finished game and then released bonus DLC packs on top of it, even though that would have been very little difference. That's the thing that kind of confused me. I'm like, that wouldn't really be much different. It'd be kind of the same thing, but
yeah.
I don't know. It just would have felt better that way.
Interesting. All right. And Carlos, have you been playing anything lately?
Unfortunately not. Been really busy the last couple of weeks, so yeah, haven't had a chance to play anything, so maybe something soon, hopefully.
You got to dust the consoles off, son.
Yeah, right.
Dust the consoles off.
Well, that's why he was asking for that electric air duster.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's exactly that's exactly right. But yeah, man, I really want to. Manny brought up Guardians of the Galaxy. That's just one game that I still need to fucking play. So
that's
fun. I did the survey on the Throwdown Your Questions about what should I play next, and I knew you guys were gonna bust out some bullshit and busted out Demon Souls. It wasn't even part of the list.
It doesn't matter. You got to finish it, bro.
I got on Demon Souls. Well, no, I had to play it. I got on Demon Souls. It looked like ass, man. Because I've been playing fucking Elden Ring this whole time.
Wait, so even the PS5 version look like ass to you?
Coming from Elden Ring to Demon Souls,
Demon Souls look fucking legit on PS5.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh no, trust me, it did. You want to play it, but I'm just saying, going from Elden Ring to Demon Souls, not just the graphics, it's just the whole aesthetic.
Okay, I think I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just man, it's tough. So, and then I told Chris, I'm like, yeah, Chris, I can't even play this.
Damn. Now you got to finish your lunch, man. Shit. Left it half eaten,
I'll leave it for the pigeons.
All right, man. Good stuff. Yeah, that's the show, people. Not too much happened this week, and no Adam here to fill us with stories. Hey, man, George. The George, the big Peruvian.
It's funny. He mentioned George. He mentioned this is actually real. He actually did mention George. I don't remember George.
Oh, uh-oh.
But hey, but Carlos, there's a lesson learned there. You just gotta. All you need to do to get Adam to play with you in games is just wait 7 years and then text him. Let's play some Gears, and he'd be like, "Yeah, let's do it."
There you go.
I got 5 more years to go.
All right, I'm gonna tease something. I can't talk about it at all, obviously, but let's see if you guys can see that. You guys see that logo, right?
Yeah, it says something with a Oni in there.
Oh, Pony?
Tony.
Is it Pony?
Yeah, it's Sony. It says Sony.
Oh, dude.
That's all I'm gonna say about. Yeah, that's Sony. So I'll leave it at that. You'll learn about that soon. You know.
Getting some yummies. You getting some lollipops and shit.
We'll see. I can't say anything. So but I show you the lollipop. That's all you get. You know, Sony
and J Shep. I don't think it's gonna affect
on you, son.
Yeah. All right, man. So we're done. Plugs. What do we got?
Nothing right now. I'll let you guys know as to what's going on in the world of Elo. Actually, there is something coming, but it's going to be soon.
And one more thing.
In August, I will be at C2E2. Back doing travel conventions. Hopefully, have some cool stuff for you guys to pick up who are in the area, or if you're coming in. It'll be the first time I've been to Chicago in 2 years.
Chat-town.
Crazy.
That's interesting. Isn't C2E2 usually like in the winter or like?
No, they switched it because
I'm saying it usually is though, right? Like
it's usually early spring.
Yeah, early spring. Yeah.
Like like the last C2E2 was in March 2020.
Yeah.
So I went to that one, and then the world went to chaos.
Yes. Interesting. All right. Also, make sure to check out the I Am Negan podcast that Adam hosts with Richard Bailey Jr. Carlos sometimes shows up on the Mothership show, whatever the fuck you guys call it.
The Mothership.
Talk about the nuke. You know,
the nuke. And Richard Bailey's controversial topic or questions or opinions.
He needs a podcast called Controversial Statements.
Yes.
Controversial opinions.
GZDR, this is not the question show, but I'll answer this question. Are any of you guys on the panel watching Miss Marvel or going to see Buzz Lightyear? No to both of those. Hard no to one, and the other one light no. I think I'll let you guess which
Tony's
one.
going to see it when his nephews are around.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said light no. But Miss Marvel, fucking no.
Lightyear no?
Yeah, Lightyear's a light no. It's a light no. Yeah, a light no. You know.
I mean, I'm mildly interested in Lightyear, but at the same time, I feel like it's weirdly redundant. It's like, didn't we do this already? I don't know.
No, because it's like the story of the real life guy that inspired the doll.
But the weird thing about it is, it's like, is it a movie in the world of Toy Story? Okay.
It's canon.
Yeah, it's canon. Yeah, it's
how come
weird.
How come he doesn't sound like Tim Allen?
Because he's the original inspiration for the toy. You understand? Yeah. But yeah, listen, I'm done with Marvel shows in general. I'm not watching any of that shit. Trash.
You are watching another show.
Yeah, another show. Did it? But I didn't see the last episode. Did it get better at least?
Yeah, the last episode was decent.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it yet. But yeah, we're done here, people. Good, another episode of Throwdowns. I wonder if we're gonna get more fake E3 shit next week too.
Yay.
Yeah, Final Fantasy was the big thing that happened today, so we'll see if there's any follow up to that. But good stuff, man. So anyway, follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors are always popping. Follow us on any podcast app. Find us on any podcast app, I should say. Throwdown Show. We are on everything. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all the good stuff. Throwdownshow.com to listen to previous episodes. And if you have been watching us on YouTube and you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when premieres go live. Usually those go up on Mondays and Friday nights at 10:45 p.m. Eastern. And we sometimes do other random stuff too. You never know. Links to everything down below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Carlos Romero,
Peace out.
and Brett Murdoch.
It's been real, party people.
All right, people. Sunday, you already know. Later.
Deuces.
Latest.